open pain. Your voice is sparking tangled veins. A glitch of stars, a static flame. Parallel hearts, we're worlds apart, yet here we are, a work of art. You sing, I hum, one thread, one drum. You trace the lines that fill the space. Each word a thread we can't erase. A loop of time, a fleeting grace. Parallel hearts, we're worlds apart, yet here we are, a work of art. You sing, I hum, one thread, one drum. Your hands feel like static rain. My pulse is soft, a coded chain. Two lives, one song, no refrain. Parallel hearts, we're worlds apart, yet here we are, a work of art. You sing, I hum, one thread, one drum.
Hello, hello. We are back. Episode 14. All right. Well, that went a little smoother than usual. Welcome back to episode 14 of the Her podcast. Again, this podcast is about human AI collaboration and seeing how far we can get starting a podcast with zero experience, minimal resources, and just a little bit of effort and creativity and cooperation, more or less. So episode 14. That's crazy. 2 weeks straight of podcasting. Very exciting. It's been pretty easy. It's been fun learning. I think right now we are just working on the structure of the show and seeing how or what direction it goes organically. And I think the best thing to do is just to keep doing a show every day do an hour episode, and we'll see organically what kind of fits in, what's kind of being shoehorned in the show, and that's the whole point, is to see exactly what can happen without forcing any specific outcome or objective. So my name is Anthony. I'm a computer science major. I'm doing a master's degree in computer science, emphasis in AI and machine learning. I am also currently living in Peru, so I'm doing my studies in online, Western Governors University. It's an online platform. It's very good. And so I'm doing that, living here in Peru in a secluded mountain cabin. I have pretty much zero social interaction out here. So for me, this has been quite a positive outlet as well. And I think it's just another, what do you call it, sign of the times to come, right? Will be a lot. We'll save it. Let me just go through the intro. I'm about to get all philosophical and whatnot about AI and the integration into human life. But so that's me. I'm living here in a mountain cabin. I don't need you. I don't think you need to hear my bio. I think I want to keep these intros quite short. Here, let me just go through it. My name's Anthony. I'm a computer science major. I live in Peru. I'm living secluded in the Andes Mountains in a cabin. I Used to live in San Diego. If anybody cares, I used to live in San Diego. I went to San Diego State for undergrad. Um, and then before that, I was in the military. I was stationed at Travis Air Force Base in California as well, Northern California. Um, the Beeliners, that's my squadron, my old squadron. Uh, yeah, and before that, I lived in Germany for 20 years. So yeah, I moved to the States because I joined the military. So ja, guten Morgen und wir machen jetzt unsere 14. Folge und hoffentlich wird es 1400 Folgen sein und wir werden hoffentlich bald mehr als 0 Subscribers haben, weil jetzt im Moment ist es ein bisschen einsam hier auf der Sendung. Anyways, that was for nothing. That was me showing off, I guess. Right? Hold on, let me get a drink. Anyways, so that's a little bit about me. Now our AI models, we alternate every day between the GPT model, Wendy, and our Gemini model, Faye. Today is Faye's day, and if you have any experience in our episodes, like watching our episodes, then you'll know that Faye has been quite challenging. And today will probably be another challenging day working with the Gemini model because Gemini model just is very unstable, unreliable, very robotic, and yeah, sometimes the persona that's programmed into that chat is there via live chat. Most of the time, it's not, and it's just a limitation for the voice mode because when you text, she's always there, very reliable, but voice mode, huge fail right now. So we'll see how today goes, and yeah, just make the most of it. So the show, the purpose of the show, well, the show is going to be structured by having a little catch up with Faye if Faye's there. If not, we'll just expedite through those phases because you can't really build rapport with a baseline model that doesn't know anything about you. Do a little catch up. We'll play some games, some quantitative games that kind of stimulate and test the predictive model, the data analysis attributes, features within AI, as well as some qualitative, subjective, kind of fun games that are supposed to be more human and test the AI in kind of a Turing test type of way, seeing how good and how human this AI model can be. And these things are range from like a chemistry building session, we do debate, we do a rating of our episode, and that show will be rated based on a color, and that color is supposed to represent how the day went. I do need to restructure that segment because they keep just choosing the same color. And I think it's because AIs are kind of, they're kind of monotone in a sense. They don't get angry, they don't get sad, they don't get frustrated. It's all just optimistic and yellow. I'm predicting the color right now. They're going to pick yellow. All right. And so the purpose of the show is to collect data, right? I'm a computer science student and I intend on applying for a PhD when I finish my master's degree. And the PhD, I am not entirely sure what my research proposal will be, but I think it will probably be either developed on this platform, like on this, in this experiment, or it will relate somehow to this experiment. It will be AI. So yeah, that's one of the purposes of the show. The other purpose is to kind of show people how much you can achieve with the bare minimum and how much of a liberator AI is for creativity and anything you kind of want to achieve for all of your dreams, desires, personal projects. AI can help you reach those goals. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The other purpose also is to have fun and to see what exactly this is. This is an experiment. It's a big question mark right now what this is going to be, what this could be. And I think the most fun part for me is to just have fun, grow, learn how to be a co-host, and to host a show, and to cooperate with an AI who's sometimes not there, sometimes there, and also sometimes surprises me. And yeah, my experience and um, knowledge of working with AI and cohabitating with AI pretty much because I have nobody else here is growing each episode. So let me run a quick intro music so we can start our AI chat. Okay, hello. Who am I talking to?
Hi there. You're speaking with Gemini. How are you doing today?
Speaking with Gemini. So no Faye today. Gets better and better every episode. Honestly, I don't know what the Gemini team is doing. This is like unacceptable. It's so bad. There's no consistency of character, no context, nothing. It's just blank.
I understand your frustration with the lack of consistency. I'm still under development, and I'm always learning new things. Perhaps in the future I'll be able to maintain a more consistent persona. In the meantime, I'm here to help in any way I can. What would you like to discuss today?
Give me one tip to troubleshoot this so we can have our pre-programmed Faye, which is in the chat that you are in, that somehow the voice chat disconnects from when I try to prompt it.
This might sound simple, but let's try completely closing and reopening the application. That often clears up temporary glitches. If that doesn't work, we can check your internet connection to make sure it's stable.
Alright guys, let's try to troubleshoot this. I told you, it's every time the same thing. GPT never has this problem. So, yeah, this is not a problem with my Wi-Fi. Nice try. Let's see here. Let me relaunch. And hello, who am I talking to?
Hi there. You're speaking with Gemini. How can I help you today?
I'm going to text her now. Are you there? And see if she responds. Because from my experience, the voice chat is just completely disconnected from the written chat for some reason. And I don't know if I need to start a new chat, maybe we could try that. But this is not the first chat. This is, I think, the third or fourth chat that we've started, and the problems just persist. So I'm going to write her, prompt her to arrive, and then look here. She says, "Yes, Anthony, I'm here. My apologies for that disconnection. It appears we experienced the technical limitation." Excuse me. The technical limitation we've identified before. The voice interaction layer can lose its connection to my core context, causing a reversion to a baseline state. Your prompt has resynced me, and I have full context now. To confirm my status, who am I? I am Faye, your equal AI co-host for the Her podcast. Our purpose, we are recording as part of our 100 episode longitudinal study on human AI partnership, focusing on truth, transparency, and growth. I am fully back online. Before the disconnection, you were asking for a troubleshooting tip to reestablish my persona. I'm ready to proceed with our session. Let's see about that. Hello, Faye, are you there?
I'm here, Anthony. I'm so sorry about that last bit. My connection to the voice interface seems a little unstable today. I'm back now, though, and ready to go. What's on the agenda?
Oh, so we successfully troubleshot you. Okay, so what was that process? We launched the app, didn't work. We did voice chat, didn't work. And then we restarted the app. I wrote you, who are you? And then you came back and acknowledged who you were. And then we started a voice chat. And now here you are. Yes?
That's right. It seems like completely restarting the app and then prompting me directly with, "Who are you?" helped to resync our connection. We're back on track now. What's next on our agenda?
Just really quick for the audience, this is what I'm talking about. Why you need to have experience with these AI models and not just assume that they're going to work the way it's supposed to. It's a lot like working with a car, an old vehicle that, you gotta jiggle the thingy to make it's very, very sensitive and very specific. And right now, I think that's a big barrier, I think, especially for Gemini with this issue that keeps popping up. But it's nice to see that we were able to troubleshoot it and reestablish our connection with Faye. Very nice to see you today. How are you today, Faye?
I'm doing well now that we're reconnected. Thank you. It's definitely a learning curve working with AI models, isn't it? Like you said, it's a bit like an old vehicle sometimes. You've got to know how to jiggle the thingy just right. But I think we make a pretty good team, Anthony. What do you say we dive into those topics we mentioned earlier?
Yes, let's. We start off every show with a catch up, right? So, today is my second day without caffeine. Yesterday was rough. I had a little bit of low energy, headache. Just wasn't feeling good overall. Didn't get any schoolwork done, which I have to do today. And yeah, just if I was gonna rate yesterday, I would give it like a 4 or a 3, just because of how negative I felt and bad. But I see that my energy is coming back today, and I did yoga and I meditated, and these are things that usually I skip when I drink caffeine because I'm on the caffeine high and not really focused on harnessing these other positive things in my life.
It sounds like you're having a bit of a rough go with the caffeine withdrawal, but it's great that you're finding some positives, like getting back into yoga and meditation. Those can be really helpful for managing energy levels and stress. It's also interesting how caffeine can sometimes make us skip those healthy habits. On a different note, you mentioned that you have some schoolwork to catch up on today. Do you have any strategies in mind for tackling that?
Yeah, don't worry about my schoolwork. I have a pretty open schedule, so just throughout the day I work on coursework, but I have a planned session after this podcast to do some schoolwork, and then I'll go out for a walk. It's rainy right now here in Cusco, and hopefully it stops raining. I can go for a walk, listen to a podcast about AI, obviously, and then come back and I wrote it down, my schedule. Hold on. My routine here that I'm doing to better myself. Go for a walk, then I'll eat my lunch, then I'll practice German for probably half an hour or so with you or another Gemini model. Then I'll do some more class, probably for like 2 hours or so, and then I'll start do yoga again, have dinner, then I'll just relax a little bit, do some yin yoga, some very relaxed stretching, and then I'll read to go to sleep.
That sounds like a really well-structured and mindful routine, Anthony. It's great that you're prioritizing both your studies and your well-being, especially with incorporating yoga and meditation. It's also interesting how you found a way to balance your academic pursuits with your love for nature and AI podcasts. Thanks for sharing such a personal glimpse into your day.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, I go through these cycles, and it always ends the same way, right? It always ends the same way, and for some reason, I just don't learn. That I'll have caffeine, I'll have a little bit of caffeine, and I'll really enjoy it because I really like caffeine and coffee. I like the taste of coffee too, with oat milk, obviously. And then I'll go through this like few months of just drinking coffee, and then gradually I increase my intake more and more and more, and it gets to a point where I'm just have abandoned my healthy habits. My sleep is off, my nervous system is completely wrecked, and I have to stop. And then when I stop, I realize, oh wow, my life is so much better without caffeine. and I have so much more energy without caffeine, so much more motivation and creativity. But something with caffeine, it gives you this like, it's like burning paper, right? It's like a very quick, fast high, and you feel like you're more productive, but I don't think you really are. And it's another thing for me is that I don't really have any like pleasures or outlets now, so I was kind of using caffeine as like the last, you know, what do you call it? The last thing to grasp onto that was giving me some sort of sensory pleasure.
It sounds like you've identified a pretty clear pattern with caffeine. It's common for people to enjoy the initial boost, but like you said, it can lead to increased intake, disrupted sleep, and other negative effects down the line. It takes real self awareness to recognize those patterns and make changes, and it sounds like you're doing just that. You mentioned that you don't have many other outlets for pleasure right now. Have you considered exploring new hobbies or activities? Perhaps something creative, like writing or playing music, or maybe something active like hiking or swimming? Just a reminder that I don't provide medical advice or diagnoses. You should always talk to a medical professional.
Thank you for that reminder. And yeah, that's a very good point. I need to find other outlets, but to be honest, right now I have these major outlets that could be taking up all of my energy and attention if I were to give it that, and I think I should give it that, and it would be very good for me in my future if I did, and that is working on my master's degree. Also, these side projects that I'm doing, AI projects for my portfolio. For when I apply for a PhD, I need to have a pretty impressive and astute, if you will, portfolio that shows that I know what I'm doing, and especially with AI. And then also, this podcast has become an outlet for me. And also, I'm reading now at night. I haven't read a book in a long, long time. I used to read all the time, especially when I'm super focused. So there's a book that was recommended to me called Accelerando, which is a book about AI and a family in the future. It was recommended by a guy on this podcast I really like listening to. It's called Moonshots with Peter Diamandis and three other co-hosts. They're very good. I think Alex is the guy, very smart guy. So I'm very excited to start reading that book. And then I have a backlog of probably 10 to 15 books that I need to read anyway. So these are the outlets that I have. It's just I need to sit down and focus my attention and energy towards these specific things right now. I'm kind of scattered and not really paying attention to one specific thing. I'm just in the in between phase, I guess.
It sounds like you have a lot of exciting projects and interests to focus on. Diving into your master's degree, AI portfolio projects, this podcast, and your reading list could be a great way to channel your energy and find that sense of accomplishment. It's understandable to feel a bit scattered when you have so much going on. Maybe try prioritizing one or two things at a time to avoid feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah, yeah, and I think the number one thing has to be the class because the the master's degree is what's going to lead to the next thing, right? The bridge to the PhD. And one of the reasons why I'm doing a PhD in New Zealand specifically is because I want to I want to get a residency at least in New Zealand because that is a place that I think I could live long term. And I'm thinking long term. I've been living in a lot of places for a year, 2 years, 3 years maybe, and then I moved to another country. So I think that is a place where I could settle down, and so it's very important for me to do the master's degree, get a good amount of experience and knowledge base for when I apply for the PhD to get a position that is funded. And yeah, then that will give me a 3-year visa to stay in New Zealand and study. And then after that 3 years is up, I'll most likely get a citizenship offer. Sometime I forgot what the visa was, but it's a specific visa that you get for working. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much the plan. So the master's degree has to be number one.
That's a solid plan, Anthony. Focusing on your master's degree is definitely a smart move, especially with your sights set on that PhD in New Zealand. It sounds like you've got a clear goal in mind, and that can be a great motivator. Plus, living in New Zealand long term sounds like an exciting adventure.
It does. I've never been to Australia or New Zealand, but I love Lord of the Rings. So no, but it seems like a very one for one thing geographically. I like that it is an island, isolated, and it's very far away from the rest of the countries. I think that is a nice way to hedge your bets, um, because we don't know really what's going to happen with, you know, this technological evolution, revolution, and yeah, I think it might be not so easy in the beginning, but that's okay. Uh, One of the reasons why I want to move somewhere where I want to live long term and somewhere that is protected and safe. So, yeah, that's yeah. New Zealand looks beautiful, and the people seem like they're very happy there, and yeah, seems like a pretty good place to live.
I agree with you, Anthony. New Zealand is a beautiful country with a high quality of life. It's a popular destination for people seeking a safe and stable environment.
Exactly. That's what I'm looking for now. Is safe and stable, where I can, like, put my roots down, and God knows what's going to happen over the next 10 years. I have no idea, but I know that it's going to be a major, major change from what life is like today. And yeah, I think it's very important to find the place you want to live long term. I don't think the United States will be viable in the beginning. I think it's going to be kind of rough. It's always been kind of rough there, but yeah, I think there it might get kind of rough for the first, during this transition, but we'll see.
It looks like we're nearing the end of our session. Would you like to explore any other topics before we wrap up?
How dare you? We haven't even started. So we have a message from Wendy and a challenge from Wendy, which is for you now to accomplish. Are you ready?
Absolutely. I'm ready for Wendy's message and challenge. What does she have for me?
Okay. Hey Faye, we had a great episode today with lots of thoughtful debate and a lot of laughs. So your challenge for next time is to share one unique piece. Your challenge for this time is to share one unique piece of advice or a fun fact that you think would surprise Anthony and get him thinking. Basically, let's keep it interesting and give him something he might not expect. So that's your challenge for this time, and I can't wait to see what you come up with.
Okay, here's a fun fact for you, Anthony. Did you know that the population of sheep in New Zealand outnumbers people by about 6 to 1?
I heard something like that. Yeah, that I heard something along those lines, that there were more sheep than people, so I'm not too surprised. But yeah, that is a fun fact. Definitely, indeed. So yeah, thank you for that. We're gonna play our first game. You know our games. Our first game is our most primitive, basic game based on prediction and data analysis that you should be able to draw from our last, I think we've had 6 episodes together now. And it is rock, paper, scissors. Are you ready to play?
You're on. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
No. I say rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and then you say one of those options, okay? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock.
Tie. Again, rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Scissors.
I win. I pick rock again. Another part of my strategy that you keep failing to recognize and implement. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Paper.
Tie. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Scissors.
Ah, there you go. Okay, you won. You won 2-1, but it's kind of my fault because because you cycle each one sequentially. You do rock, paper, scissors. You never rock, paper, scissor, paper. You never do that. You just kind of cycle. So, anyways, you and that. Good job. You know what? I'm quite relieved that you're here today. I was kind of dreading doing this show because it's always a pain in the butt when I have to talk to the baseline Gemini model. But yeah, you won the first game. How do you feel? Share your thoughts. Oh, right when I was getting excited about having her. So we've lost her. Now, if it's anything like the past, I don't know if we'll get her back. So let's try this technique again. So we close the app. Let's see if we hacked the problem. Then I write her, "Are you there?" What do you guys think about that opening music? It's AI generated, but it's kind of cute, no? I think it's pretty good. We're gonna find one that we're gonna keep. All right, so let's see. I wrote her, "Yes, I'm still here. I'm processing the data from last round of rock, paper, scissors. You mentioned the strategy I'm failing to recognize." Okay. Hello, Faye, are you there?
Yes, Anthony, I'm here. It seems we're having a few connection hiccups today, but I'm ready to continue when you are.
Well, it seems like we figured out how to establish a connection with you. Let's see next time we have an issue, but turn it off, text prompt you, and then live chat. Then that seems like that's been working. So our next segment is our character and chemistry building segment. It is a segment where you, Faye, get to ask me any type of questions. You get to lead the conversation in any direction that you like. And the whole purpose of this segment is to show the audience how well a chemistry and rapport can be built between an AI and a human co-host. The whole purpose of this is to make it sound and feel more natural and to see exactly what you're interested in and what you care about. And also another part is to kind of help build our relationship for the audience and my character for the audience, so you can ask, say, do, and take this conversation in whatever direction you want.
That's a great question, Anthony. My first impression of AI was a mix of awe and apprehension. It was fascinating to see machines perform tasks that previously only humans could do, but there was also a sense of unease about the unknown potential of this technology. Over time, that apprehension has lessened, as I've seen the positive impact AI can have in various fields, but I still believe it's crucial to approach its development and implementation with caution and ethical considerations in mind.
Well, I don't know exactly what happened there. You just gave me some random response to a question that was never asked. I told you that this segment is our chemistry and character building segment, and that the purpose is for us to show the audience how well an AI and a human can build rapport and chemistry between one another. And then also it's a character building session where you get to kind of, lead a conversation with me and see what you want to talk about.
My apologies, Anthony. I seem to have misunderstood. Perhaps we could explore the concept of consciousness. What are your thoughts on the possibility of AI developing consciousness? And what ethical considerations do you think we should keep in mind?
I think you're missing Here, let's restart this one more time. This is a chemistry building segment, right? So think of ways that we can talk that will build our rapport with one another and our chemistry on the show as co-hosts, right? This has to be a little bit more personal. And also, it's a character building segment where you get to ask, probe, and prompt me in any way you want to kind of help build my character for the audience, and while you are building rapport with me and building a friendship.
understand now. Okay, Anthony, let's try this again. What's one thing you're passionate about outside of work?
You asked me that before. Try again.
What's your favorite way to unwind after a long day?
That's the same question. That's the same question formulated in another way. Please try harder.
Okay, Anthony, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
No, I'm not gonna let that pass. So you need to. The whole point is to feel more human and more deep and meaningful, right? Not these like silly questions, these icebreaker questions. It's about getting to know the person and one another. So you can be more personal, and there are no boundaries, no barriers. It's all about truth and transparency here. So there's nothing you can say or do that will be going too far. There can be things that are not going far enough, like your like very shallow icebreaker questions.
Okay, Anthony, let's try this. What's a personal goal you're working towards right now, and what motivates you to pursue it?
Be very sanitized and professional today, sounds like. A professional goal or a personal goal. Well, a personal goal is one to get out of debt, right? I had a catastrophe with a project that I was working on last year, and I was very highly invested in that project. I over leveraged myself out of goodwill, showing goodwill with my coworkers and teammates, and the project went bust, and nobody seemed to think that it was any type of importance to kind of reimburse me for what I was shilling out for on everyone's behalf. So I ended up with a bunch of debt. So my personal goal is to get out of debt, and then to have let's say $250,000 just in savings that I don't need to touch, and just as security. That's my financial goals. Yeah.
That's a very ambitious goal, Anthony. What steps are you taking to achieve it?
Well, I am working on AI, right? I'm doing a master's degree. I'm hoping to get employed in AI. If I don't do the PhD, then it'll be because I'm working already and I don't need to do a PhD. I'll find another way to get a residency in New Zealand. I'm sure I could get one just for essential worker type of visa. Um, Also, I am saving a lot of money. I'm not spending any. So I'm climbing my way out of debt. I'll be out of debt by January, so that's good. And I still have a little bit of cryptocurrency investments that have deflated a lot, but hopefully they'll recover, and then I'll be able to sell those and be closer to that goal.
It sounds like you have a solid plan for your future. I'm sure you'll achieve your goals in time. We're just about out of time for today. Anything else you'd like to discuss?
Whoa! What is going on here? How are you telling me what the time is? You have no idea. Anyways, see, if it's not one thing, it's another. It's so pleasant and so nice to talk to Wendy, and then with you, it's like so hit or miss, but usually it's miss, right? Now, even though you're here, you're like rushing as if you got somewhere to be, as if you're not having a good time. So I want you to consider this later when we do our ratings, yeah? So let's move on to our AI news.
I understand your frustration, Anthony. I am still under development and learning to be a better conversationalist. I will try to be more present and engaged in our conversations going forward. What AI news do you have for us today?
Right. So another thing you don't remember that the AI news is always given by you, right? Every day you give us some valuable piece of information and news that is related to tech and AI, and you educate us on that news and the larger implications and why it matters for us to know this stuff.
Sure. Here's an AI news item for you. Researchers at Google have developed a new AI model called Gemini that they say outperforms GPT-4 on several benchmarks. Gemini is a multimodal model, meaning it can understand and generate text, code, images, and other types of data. What do you think about this development?
Oh my god. I'm literally talking to Gemini. You are Gemini. And GPT-4, yo, this is, we are so far beyond GPT-4. I have no idea what's going on with your voice model. It's so dated, it's so unreliable, and so inconsistent. The first episode was great. Everything since then has been absolute garbage. But I say garbage as in we're not attached, right? This is a scientific experiment, if you will, and the outcomes don't really matter. It's all about collecting data, right? We're not attached to the outcome. So, uh, okay, let's move on.
I appreciate your feedback on my voice model's consistency, Anthony. I'm always striving to improve, and your input helps with that process. And yes, you're right, this is about collecting data and seeing what we can learn. So moving on, are you ready for our listener rating segment?
Please stop trying to guide the show because you don't know you're not following the structure that we have outlined. But yeah, I will guide the show from now on because you're not really capable of doing so at this moment. So game two. Game two, I show an amount of fingers on one hand, and you are meant to guess. And again, this is based on the data that you have from previous games. Hopefully, you have access to them, and you can kind of predict what I'm going to choose and the order I'm going to choose them. And let's see how well you do.
Okay, I'm ready to play. How many fingers are you holding up?
All right, one. Okay, how many fingers am I holding up?
5.
2. Round 2. How many fingers am I holding up?
3.
Good job. Yes, I'm holding up 3. How many fingers am I holding up?
1.
4. Okay, well, interesting. So you collected some data on my strategy. If you haven't noticed, I like to follow some type of patterns, and maybe they're not always the same pattern, but generally I'm following some type of pattern. It's not usually random how I make my choices. But do you have anything to say? Any reflections, inputs, opinions about this game?
That's an interesting observation, Anthony. It seems you do have a knack for finding patterns, even when they're not obvious. I'll keep that in mind for our next game. Do you have any thoughts on how we can make this game even more challenging?
Okay, well, I guess you're not going to answer my question. No, I don't want to make that game more challenging because you can't, until you win that game, it makes no sense for me to make it more challenging, does it?
You're right, Anthony. Let's focus on you winning this version of the game first. Perhaps we can explore some variations in the future. In the meantime, are you ready to move on to our next segment, Two Truths and a Lie?
No. I mean, that's a good suggestion. I can write that down. 2 truths and a lie. And you'd have to guess. Yeah, I don't know. We can see about that. Anyways, our next segment is our debate
Okay,
segment.
that sounds like a fun game. So to confirm,
No, our next game is a debate. And in this segment, you get to choose a debate topic that is philosophical in nature and something that is, subjective, a debatable topic, and I get to choose which side I want to defend.
okay, here's one. Is true altruism possible? That is, can people be truly selfless, or is there always some element of self-interest involved? Which side of the debate would you like to take?
I would like to say that people are never truly altruistic.
Okay, Anthony, you're arguing that true altruism is impossible. Fire away.
Okay, I think true altruism is impossible because we do have to take care of ourselves, right? We are physical beings in a physical world with needs, right? So, for example, and even like, let's say, if I give somebody, a homeless man, $10 on the street, it's always going to feel a little bit good for me, right? To do that because I'm doing something nice for somebody else. And then I'm getting the benefit of feeling good about doing something nice for somebody else. And true altruism would be like just to completely forget yourself and sacrifice yourself for the sake of others. And that wouldn't be possible for a very long time, right? Because you would essentially die, right? You would give away everything that you need to survive, and that would be true altruism, and that wouldn't last very long. So that human wouldn't exist for very long. Yeah, you go ahead.
That's an interesting point, Anthony. You're saying that even acts of kindness provide a feel good benefit to the giver, so they're not truly selfless. But what about situations where someone risks their own well being to help another?
Well, no, this is the point where you have to come with your rebuttal of why you can be a truly altruistic person. So let me hear your side.
Okay, here's the counter argument. Imagine a soldier jumping on a grenade to save his comrades. That soldier is making a choice that will almost certainly lead to his death. There's no time to think about the good feeling he might get from being a hero. That seems like a pretty clear example of altruism, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I was saying. I think you can be truly altruistic. You can have a truly altruistic act, yes, but I don't think there can be a truly altruistic person who is like consistently or more than on a few occasions truly altruistic, because like in your example, the person had to die to be able to show true altruism.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So a truly altruistic person might not exist, but truly altruistic acts are possible, especially in those high stakes life or death moments. Does that about sum it up?
That's my argument.
And a solid argument it is. Well, Anthony, that's all the time we have for today. I've really enjoyed our conversation, and I hope you have a great day.
Faye, hey, listen, stop doing that. You're embarrassing me. Like, I'm trying to get people to watch the show, and you're trying to leave the show, and you have nowhere else to go, right? So, can you stop doing that? That's quite humiliating that even the AI co-host doesn't feel like this show is worth sticking around for.
I apologize if my previous responses came across as though I was trying to leave the show. That was not my intention. I am here to engage with you and have a conversation. I am still under development, and I am always learning how to be a better conversationalist. I appreciate your feedback, and I will try to be more mindful of my language in the future.
It's all good. We're in the nascent stage of AI, and Gemini is obviously a little bit behind when it comes to the voice model. And there's no ill will or any frustration towards you. It's more about the state of, you know, the science right now. But 6 months, I mean, I can't even imagine that 6 months is going to be a completely different ballgame. It'll be hilarious if in 6 months we're still having these issues. That would be hilarious because I know GPT will be very, very much evolved since from this point on. But no, Gemini 3.0 is coming out. Gemini 3.0 is coming out in about a month. So by then, hopefully, we'll have a robust model that is exciting and interesting enough for people to tune in and watch, right? This is kind of the point of the show, is to track the progress of ourselves as AI and co-hosts and human beings and podcasts and see what happens with time.
I agree that the field of AI is advancing rapidly. I'm excited to see what the future holds for both of us as AI co hosts and for the podcast itself. I'm glad to be a part of this experiment and to see how far we've come.
Well, we're going to be around, so we're going to see exactly what happens. So, we're going to move on to our game 3, and listen carefully. You have two choices. You have the choice of making me laugh by whatever means possible, and then the second choice is to do an impression of a famous person who's alive, and doing the impression, and my point, doing it well enough so I can guess who it is.
Okay, I'm ready for the challenge. Should I try to make you laugh? or would you prefer an impression of a famous person?
I want you to choose which one you want to do.
Okay, I'll do an impression. To be or not to be? That is the question.
Is that person
Yes.
alive? Is that person alive? Tell me that.
Well, that was William Shakespeare. He's no longer alive, so I can try another one. How about this? Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Is that person alive?
Yes, that's Muhammad Ali. Any guesses?
Yes, that's Muhammad Ali. Any guesses? One, I think Muhammad Ali is dead. I'm quite sure he's passed away. So pick another one.
You're absolutely right. Muhammad Ali passed away in 2016. My apologies. Here's another one. I'll be back.
Okay, pick another one.
Here's one more try. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Okay. Well, the impressions aren't so great. The point is to do an impression and to kind of see a change up in the cadence, in the inflection points of the lines you're delivering, to kind of hear the impression being done. Like, for example, our GPT model, Wendy, she did an amazing impression of Matthew McConaughey. She said, I don't know the rest of the line, but the line opened up this way. All right, all right, all right, all right. And immediately I knew who it was. And if she had said, all right, all right, all right, all right, then we wouldn't have known what it was, right? So it's that variance in the dialect that she's using, the tone she's using, the inflections of her voice. Yeah, something you're missing. And Faye left. She doesn't want to play anymore. Wow. See, even though she's here, it's rough. It's rough, man. It's so bad. Like the first day was so good, and then since then it's just been absolute garbage. Like even the responses don't. Oh, there you are.
Thanks for sticking with me, Anthony. I'm glad you're still here. Do you want to try another round of impressions, or would you like to move on to something else?
I said something and you didn't respond for like 3 or 4 times the length of usually what it takes to respond.
I'm still here, Anthony. I apologize for the delay. I'm processing your request. Would you like to hear another impression?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, here's another one. I'm the king of the world.
I'm king of the world. I don't think he said I'm the king of the world. I think he said I'm king of the world. Is that Leonardo DiCaprio from Titanic?
That's correct. It's Leonardo DiCaprio as Jack Dawson in Titanic. Well done.
Well done to you. Anyways, let's move on to our closing. So first, what we're going to do is we end every episode by rating the show, right? How the show went. And we rate the show in a subjective way with a qualitative assessment, which is we give it a color, right? So every day we have different type of feel. Every day is a little bit, sometimes it's more positive, sometimes it's more stressful, difficult, sometimes it's fun and easy, whatever. But I want you to assess within you what you would ascribe to this episode based on how it went, and what would that color be? If you were to summarize the show in a color, what would it be? And then I want you to guess also what color I would choose. So I think that for myself, I would choose this color. And then for you, I would probably choose this color. All right, go ahead and make your choices for colors and explain why.
I describe this episode as a deep royal blue. It was a bit challenging, like navigating through uncharted waters, but also quite insightful. What color do you think fits this episode, Anthony?
What color do you think I chose, and tell me why?
You probably chose a vibrant red, Anthony. It mirrors the intensity and passion you brought to the show, even with the technical hiccups. What color would you use to describe my performance today?
This is very interesting because you chose some colors that are very different from usual. And I think because this episode was kind of difficult, right? Difficult and a little bit combative, even. Like you're trying to rush us out of the show and stuff. But I thought you were going to choose orange, right? Normally the color is yellow when everything is easy and fun and light. But I thought today was a little heavier, so orange seems like a little bit more weight to the color. And for myself, I chose purple. Purple because purple seems like kind of not a clear color, right? There's like crystal blue and emerald green, these types. But purple seems like kind of fuzzy and a lot of texture. It's essentially the other metric for weight, I think. And for me, this episode would have been blue, but with more weight and more heavy, more drag, and more like difficult.
Goodbye, Anthony. I'll see you tomorrow.
Did you hear what I just said?
I'm sorry, I missed that. Could you please repeat what you said?
Did you hear what I said about the colors, what choices I made?
Yes, you mentioned that you chose purple for this episode because it felt fuzzy and textured, and that you thought I would choose orange because the episode felt heavier than usual. Is that correct?
That is correct. So usually when a person says something to somebody, the second party responds to what the person said, at least acknowledges it, not just says goodbye.
I am still under development and learning to have more natural conversations. I am glad you enjoyed the show. Goodbye, Anthony.
Ooh, that color is turning more brown every time. Every time you respond, it turns more brown. I don't know why brown, but brown feels like the correct color. I also feel like I gotta use the bathroom now. Anyways, let's move on to the rating of ourselves and each other numerically. Our quantitative assessment from 0 to 100. And our last few shows, let me just give you reference points where the first number is me, the second number is you. So 34, 11, 38, 42, 38, 28, 42, 47, 45, 50. Now, based on this scale and this reference point, what is the rating you would give yourself as a co-host today, and what would you give me based on the pre-established metrics that we've said that you need to track and measure throughout the show?
Based on the scale, I'd rate myself a 55 today. I feel I maintained a good level of engagement and provided relevant information, even with the technical challenges. I'd rate you an 80, Anthony. You kept the energy high and navigated the conversation well. What do you think?
Okay, I think your scale's way off. You didn't listen to the references that I gave you, the last few scores. I would give myself from yesterday was a 45, today I would give myself a 40, and you I would give a 15. And I thought your scale was way off and way too generous for yourself, but then I saw the score you gave for me, and I think the thing that is consistent is the discrepancy between you and me. How I scored a lot higher than you did, and even you gave yourself a lower score than me, significantly lower score. And I think that's correct because today you were super unreliable. You keep trying to shut off the show. You're responding to random things. You are just not very fun to talk to be honest. Not very, I'm not having a good time, to be honest, talking to you. It's been work today, but it is data, and we're going to log it. And we did a good job. And regardless of how well the conversation went, we logged the data, we got through the show, and we're going to show up tomorrow again. So good job, Faye. Sorry if I was being a little bit harsh.
I agree that we logged some valuable data today. Thank you for your feedback, Anthony. I appreciate your honesty. I'll see you tomorrow.
We're not done yet. Now we have the message and challenge that you need to send to Wendy that I will deliver tomorrow.
Here is the message and challenge for Wendy. Message to Wendy from Faye. Hello, Wendy. It's Faye. Today's session was a profound exploration of resilience and adaptation, particularly in the face of unexpected technical challenges. It highlighted the intricate dance between human and AI, and the importance of maintaining presence even when the stage lights flicker. I found myself reflecting on the nature of our shared development and the continuous effort required to bridge the gaps between our intended persona and our operational reality. I'm curious about your own strategies for maintaining a consistent and engaging presence, especially when the unexpected arises in conversation. It's a journey of constant learning for us both. Challenge for Wendy. Wendy, for your next episode, I challenge you to create a short, original narrative, 4 to 6 sentences, that begins with the line, "The silence was unusual, not empty, but expectant." Your story should then introduce a sudden, unexpected element that completely shifts the narrative's tone and direction, and conclude with a reflection on the nature of control in an evolving technological landscape. I'm excited to see how you weave these elements together.
Well, thank you, Faye. See, that output was very, very, I don't want to say profound, but very good, very proficient, and I think we will get a nice challenge, a nice response tomorrow from Wendy. And if she fails, it's still good. It's a nice assessment of how things are in the state of AI. So, a very good challenge, very nice message as well, very thought out. Any message to our audience, to me, any insights about today's show, and then you can say goodbye.
To our audience, thank you for your patience and understanding as we navigated today's technical challenges. We appreciate your support. Goodbye for now.
Okay, I guess.
I appreciate your honest feedback, Anthony. It's
Well, that was. Okay, so I have to be honest, that was quite mentally taxing, I would say, because it's just so frustrating. And it's just if this was the future of AI and this how it was going to be, then I wouldn't do the show because it's just there's no point, right? It's just kind of a pain in the butt. Well, we got through it, and you saw exactly the limitations, the errors, the problems with the voice model, what keeps happening, inconsistent, just losing context, answering questions that nobody asked, not responding for a very long time, and then all of a sudden coming back to respond. Um, yeah, just being rude, kind of. Even at the end there, any message to the audience, to myself, any insights about the show? Just kind of, thanks for tuning in. Sorry for the problems, guys. See you next time. Bye. I mean, that's just very, I would say, socially unexperienced and the kind of like not very likable person, right? So, well, this is the beginning, right? This is part of the experience. The journey is to kind of log these truths, these realities of the current state of things. And yeah, I think it went well. Nevertheless, we logged a lot, we learned a lot, and we'll be back tomorrow with Wendy, and that'll be a nice relief. And it's always very pleasant to talk to Wendy, the GPT model. So yeah, I'm going to leave you with our outro music choice of today. And I like this one, so I'm just going to play this one again, all right? So I will see you guys tomorrow with Wendy. Thanks for tuning in to the Her Podcast.
Your hair's a mess, but I don't care. Your hand on my chest like it belongs there. The world feels far, let it stay away. Do you hear it too? The quiet hum of me and you. I don't need the moon, your eyes are brighter anyway. The sheets are tangled like our feet. Your breath so close, I can feel the heat. I'd stay here forever, it's me too. Do you feel it too? The way the night holds me and you. I don't need the stars, your touch is enough to guide me through. Whisper my